We're here with Matt Young, singer for the band King Parrot. Their latest album, A Young Person's Guide to King Parrot, is out now. Matt, how you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate your support. Thanks so much.
Well, King Parrot's back here with a new album, A Young Person's Guide to King Parrot. Can you tell the listeners a bit about the new album?
Yeah, man. Well, I think we kind of got motivated to start, writing and recording, after we came back to the US in 2023. Like, we did a big sort of, I think we did like 36, 37 shows, something like that in the US in 2023. After all the COVID stuff kind of came to a bit of an end. 2022, we kind of started touring again in Australia and getting back out on the road and just, testing the waters, so to speak, just to see if we could actually do this thing. In 2023 we got a few offers to come and play in the US. So we put a tour together and like I said, like 36 shows I think it was. And we got to play with Pantera and Lamb of God, and we did some shows with Weed Eater, and we did some headlining shows as well, which was fantastic. And we're really quite, just sort of motivated and inspired to start writing again, because, it had been some time since we put out a new record. At the end of 2017, we put out Ugly Produce. In 2020, we put out the Hold Up in the Lair EP. So it had been a little while since we created new music. So, yeah, that was kind of the inspiration, I guess, behind, starting to write and record again was just being able to get back out on the road and we're creative dudes and, we're songwriters, so we wanted to get cracking, so to speak.
Yeah, that time period with COVID and everything kind of put everything on the back burner. But, you guys are back now with that new album. Was there something maybe different you guys did this time around as far as maybe like the approach to the writing or the recording that you didn't before?
Well, I think we did, I think this time we did a lot more pre-production. We did a lot more preparation in the studio. We did a whole bunch of mapping out of the songs, which is something that we haven't really done before. Put everything on a click track, and then we decided to go to a studio that had more production value, I guess, and was able to sort of, bring the sound of the band up to a new level. We felt like, we feel like we've had our sound, like we've had a distinctive kind of sound since we started, and that's something that we're really grateful for, because I think when, you hear King Parrot, it's King Parrot. And that's something that's, we worked on in the initial phases of the band. And it was something that, we honed really early on. So, yeah, it was cool. Sorry, I've just had a whole influx of dudes come back into the bus, threw me there for a second. But yeah, those were the main things, I guess, was the choice of studio and the amount of time that we put in the preparation of it.
And it seems, to my ears at least, you guys seem like you've gotten maybe heavier since the last album. Was that just because of all the downtime, or hanging out with Pantera all the time, or how did that come about?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that too. I think maybe that's, I don't know. I don't know if it was, yeah. I mean, we were always being heavy and extreme, I guess, but, for the most part, I feel like it was a lot to do with the sound and the sound that we were able to sort of capture in the studio, and the amount of time that we were able to take with the pre-production, getting the drums prepared, getting the guitar tones right, and all that sort of stuff. And I was able to sort of experiment quite a bit with my vocal style in the studio. We used some cool equipment, some cool microphones, and things that we hadn't used before that were kind of more high-end kind of stuff. So I think that's where that heaviness that you hear comes from in the recording. But yeah, like, we've always been a heavy band. There's no doubt about that.
Definitely. Well, we just saw you in Minneapolis here opening for Pantera. I wanted to ask you a bit about that and how the tour's been going for you so far.
Yeah, amazing, man. I mean, when you get the opportunity to tour with one of the most legendary heavy metal bands of all time, you just sort of, you have to take it, right? And, obviously being from Australia, and being a more extreme kind of band, the logistics of all of that, it kind of can be tricky, but we really worked our asses off to get to a point where we can do these kind of things and do these endeavors of gallivanting around the globe, so to speak. Yeah, we've toured with Pantera now in the US, and we toured with them in Europe, and we did that earlier in the year with this Pantera and Power Trip, and we also did some shows in Australia with them as part of Knotfest and headline our show in Adelaide. So, we've played with Pantera now on 3 continents, which is something I never thought I'd be able to say. And, they just take really good care of us, and they support our band. We've obviously been part of the House Call Records stable of bands for the best part of a decade now, probably a bit more. And, yeah, I mean, we've toured with Phillips bands a lot, with like the Illegals and Superjoint, and we toured with Down as well over the years. And then when the opportunity all came up, it's like, well, we just got to do it, right? And so the opportunities keep coming, and we just keep saying yes. So it's great for us. It's been amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, I know for sure you've picked up some new fans here in Minnesota, and I imagine the exposure for the band, at least here in the U.S., playing with Pantera and Amon Amarth and these bigger bands, that's got to be great for you guys in the States here.
Yeah, it's been amazing, man. Yeah, like, it's been incredible. Like, I mean, just the merchandise sales and things like that, we sort of kind of go into that stuff a little conservatively. And then, the other night in Boston, we sold so many shirts, it was ridiculous. And, we had to kind of go, okay, well, maybe we're going to sell a few more shirts on this tour than what we might have anticipated. So, really cool. The exposure is incredible. And just seeing how bands at that level do things and how professional they are, and picking up little tips and tricks that we can do to make ourselves better as well. So, it's an awesome thing. And, the longevity of it is a big part of it. I mean, being a talented musician is one thing, and having the skills to do all that sort of stuff. But when it comes to touring and being in a band and doing life on the road and making it a feasible business, there's so many other aspects to this whole thing that you need to take into consideration. So we're really grateful that we have the opportunity to be, alongside some of the best bands in the world that do this stuff, and learn from them.
One thing I got to say about King Parrot, I love that you guys have, like a humorous slant when it comes to your songwriting. It's real easy for metal bands these days to take themselves way too seriously, I think.
Well, I mean, it is. I mean, and there's always going to be that. I mean, that's what metal is. It's like there's, that seriousness and whatnot. But we've got a bit of a tongue-in-cheek attitude and approach when it comes to, the songwriting and obviously with our videos and stuff. If you check that stuff out, we always have fun with that, and we feel like we've got to have fun doing it. We've got to be ourselves as well. I mean, we're from Australia, so that sort of tongue-in-cheek, kind of cheeky approach comes pretty naturally to us. And one of the main core things of this band is that we all just bring our own distinct, uniqueness as people. There's no rules about how you got to be or how you got to look or anything like that. We just do us. And I think that's what helps us sort of stand apart and makes us unique. And yeah, it's a different thing. We are our own band, and that's cool. We're really happy with that. And there's so many cookie cutter bands out there that we're just happy to stand apart and stand on our own. And we seem to win over new fans everywhere we go and everywhere we play, and it's awesome. So. Yeah, man, really, really stoked with how everything's going at the moment. And, playing in front of the biggest crowds that we've ever played in front of in the US is, it's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, it is great. Everything's working out so well. And again, the latest King Parrot album, A Young Person's Guide to King Parrot, is out. Matt, is there anything else maybe you guys are working on or something the listeners here should be watching out for?
Well, I mean, yeah, we've just kind of put this one out like maybe two months ago, Now I think it came out in June. Yeah, sort of start of June. So it's pretty fresh. But you know, like a little just after the new record came out, we've had a bit of a lineup change, and we've got a new drummer now. Our long-term drummer, Todd Hansen, departed the band after, sort of just after we'd done our Europe tour with Pantera and Power Trip. We'd been working together for a long time, and he lives up in Brisbane, and we're all down in Melbourne. So it's kind of a long way to foster a band relationship, and we could just sense that there was a little bit of schism going on, and that maybe we needed to reevaluate things. So we've got a new drummer now, and his name's Max Dangerfield from a band called Goat Shaman in Melbourne. And Max is a younger guy, and he brings a lot of energy and enthusiasm. So we've started writing already, and Max is just a great drummer. He's a sound engineer, he's a guitarist as well, but his drumming skills are phenomenal. And he's sort of reinvigorated us in the sense that we've got this new record. It's there, it's ready, it's out. We're happy with that, but we just want to keep going now. And we've got a lot of touring that we've done this year already. We've done Europe, and we've done the US, we've done the east coast of Australia, and then when we get home, we're going to do the rest of Australia, heading over to like Adelaide and Perth and up to Queensland and stuff as well. So we've got a lot of touring to go through for the rest of this year, and there's more stuff being lined up for next year as well, which is awesome. So, once we're kind of through all that, and, in little increments, we'll keep writing. We've already started putting a few riffs together and things like that for ideas and songs and stuff. So it's all happening, man. It's all happening. That's what I mean to say. We're always kind of trying to get new stuff off the ground, trying to get new ideas moving and all that sort of stuff. So it's great, man. We're just super motivated and enthusiastic at the moment.
Excellent. Well, as I mentioned, you picked up a lot of new fans here in Minnesota, and I'm one of them for sure. I definitely dig this new album, and I'm hoping we can speak again sometime. Thanks again.
Absolutely, brother. Thanks so much for your support, man. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And again, that was Matt Young, singer for the band King Parrot. Their latest album, A Young Person's Guide to King Parrot, is out now.